Manhwa. A surprisingly niche corner in the anime community filled with stories and characters that deserve more recognition than they get. Sure, you get your Tower of Gods and God of High Schools. Oh, and Solo Leveling is coming out next year. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. All of these are high-octane action series reminiscent of the shonen manga and anime commonly discussed. But Manhwa has so much more than just that. You just need to dig deep enough to find it. No, that's not to say that shonen action series are bad simply for being part of that demographic, far from it. All I'm saying is that there's much more out there, and I'm sure there's something for you, even if Tower of God wasn't your thing. So I've been reading a manhwa on Webtoon lately, and despite having only read 38 chapters of the story, I know I need to share it with you. Trash Belongs in the Trash Can by EDDiERiNG is about Woo Bin, a handsome player who seduces rich girls for their money, living off the gifts he receives from them. After saving the life of a rich and beautiful girl, Suji, he attempts to prey on her as well, only to find out she's not like the other girls he has swindled in the past. When I first started reading, I thought I had immediately pinned down the plot's trajectory and simply strapped in for the ride. It seemed like your stereotypical slice-of-life romance story, starring a morally grey protagonist that slowly sees the error of his ways as his relationship with the main female lead progresses. I had finished the first 2 chapters thinking the main relationship had great progression. I was looking forward to seeing how Suji reforms Woo Bin, but by the time I hit chapter 3, the story took a turn I was not expecting.
It was all according to Keikaku?
That was my actual reaction to that panel in the story, and the moment the manhwa had sunk its snake-like fangs deep into me. It's not as though the reveal came as too much of a surprise. Suji seemed too perfect, having seemingly fallen in love with Woo Bin at first sight, not caring about the fact that he used girls for his own personal gain, saying she wasn't into mind games and any kind of love tactics, and much more. This twist, making it seem like she completely manipulated the situation, makes so much sense. The tactics used are also very believable, at least in my opinion. The manhwa goes out of its way to explain the intent behind the manipulation at play and works to ground it in a realistic context. So Woo Bin, someone who manipulated people himself, falling for her tactics, doesn't feel out of place whatsoever. And boy, does she have him dancing in the palm of her hand. We see over the course of the next few chapters how much his time is shifted to solely thinking about her. No matter where Woo Bin is or what he's doing, Suji pops into his mind, even to the point where he'll hallucinate her phone calls or see other girls as her. And all throughout this relationship that slowly unfolds, we're left trusting Suji less and less. The question left to answer, however, is why? To what end is she trying to meet by manipulating Woo Bin into being her exclusive lover? To be honest, I don't have an answer. At least not yet. Trash Belongs in the Trash Can slowly drip feeds its audience with hints behind Suji's main motivations, but there's really nothing conclusive as of yet. I have my own theories, sure, and some of them have proven to be true to some extent, but the rest could very well be completely missing the mark, and I could not tell you either way whether the evidence I'm going off of is even relevant to that point. I think the craziest part about the toxic relationship between Woo Bin and Suji is that they really do have good chemistry. They play off each other well, and it seems as though they're a good couple on the surface. So good, in fact, that I've been left wondering how much of Suji's feelings are actually a lie more than one time, only further proving how well written the deceit on her part truly is. I also want to address the elephant in the room. Woo Bin is not a perfect person, nor is he really a good person either. His morality lies more in a gray area, having his own flaws and making some terrible life choices before meeting Suji, so it's totally understandable for some to believe that he deserves what's coming to him. That being said though, there is also an argument to be made behind his life being filled with tragedy. While delving deeper into the why behind his tragic past would be spoilers, just know that there is more to the story behind how Woo Bin became who he is, and it's not exactly black and white. There's clearly more at play here, and I'm nowhere near getting to the bottom of what's truly going on, so I can't say for certainty how everything's going to turn out, but the ride so far has been a great one. If you're interested in reading Trash Belongs in the Trash Can yourself, you can find the entire series for free on Webtoon. They're not sponsoring me to say this or anything, but I genuinely wish to support the creator for their great work. On top of the interesting story, the manga looks very pretty, with a unique monocolor-esque art style that makes it stand out from its contemporaries. Also, if you like this video, why not consider subscribing and clicking the like button? It'd help me know whether or not to keep uploading videos like these. Also, while you're at it, let me know if you'd like a follow-up video where I go more in depth with spoilers and such and talk about what's going on and how I feel about it. I'm not kidding when I say I really enjoy this series, and I'd love to share more about it. But until then, my name's Jay, I like anime, and thanks for watching. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go finish season 1, then go stare at a wall in my depressive wait for season 2 to start.